So this has been something I wanted to talk about for a while, but I just kept procrastinating on it for the longest time. I wanted to talk about three separate situations in where like a large congregation of Black Americans have been congregating on a specific area and have basically been causing massive disturbances to the general public, to the point where police officers and like occasionally paramedics had to be called. And I'm going to show you three specific examples. Well, not exactly to that extent, but just like large crowds of Black people just congregating on certain places for certain events that I'm going to show you right here. And then I'm going to talk about like how do I say this? Like the absurdity of it all, just in general, of these types of situations, in junction of what like a lot of Black people on TikTok have been talking about and complaining about. Most notably, for example, like the teacher school supply debacle situation. That's one of them. You'll get what I mean when I'll show you these videos.
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4.
So Jonathan Wright had his grand opening for his hair store yesterday. The hair gathering in Houston, Texas. He was giving out free supplies, free hair, and free wigs. And everything was going good till it went wrong. I showed y'all ads at that establishment yesterday. Who don't want a free wig or free bundles? But for y'all to act a complete ass and get the police called out there because y'all was acting like hyenas and fighting over wigs, he couldn't even really enjoy his moment because the whole Houston, Texas police department was out there. A grand opening turned into a grand closing in a couple of hours. That is crazy. Y'all gotta get y'all shit together and learn how to act accordingly in public. Black people are so embarrassing. Like, it be your own people. He said he will be reopening the store, but come on now, y'all gotta do better than that. Literally, he put his sweat and tears into the store, and it wasn't even like open for a whole day. He shouldn't even have to do a grand opening because the store should already be up and running by now. But because y'all acted fluid, extra ass, that means business got shut down same day.
This is a grand opening of a new store in Mobile, Alabama, and the line is ridiculous. They're fighting. It's just, y'all. They open up at 8. It's 7:59. Y'all gonna see how they act. I'm gonna get a lot of views from this. Come on. We're waiting. Oh, 18.
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4. Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4.
It's not what she is. Oh my God. This is what she is doing to the folks. Oh my God.
Now, a key point that you need to consider is that Blacks and Hispanics in America are disproportionately more likely to be consumers of goods and services than their white counterparts. This is relevant for a reason. Like I mentioned in my last video, the same group of people that be complaining about having to share school supplies or having to buy school supplies for their kids and getting their basic needs met, such as this.
So I'm going to say this since no other parent is saying it. And I'm definitely qualified because I have 5 children. I have 2 sets of twins and a teenager. I'm a parent who does not buy school supplies. Yeah, you heard me right. I do not buy school supplies. And let me tell y'all why. For one instance, I buy all these school supplies for my kids. They take some of it to school, and the teachers take all the supplies and tell the kids don't write their names on it. What? That's the time that I bought my kids. And no offense, I'm not trying to share with no other kids. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to share, okay? And this was before the economy got bad. I bought it just for my kids, okay? Another bad experience I had with school supplies. My daughter took the school supplies to school. It wasn't the brand that the teacher wanted.
They will bitch and complain about having to spend money on quality things that they need, or things for their children or the people that they're taking care of that they need. Bitch and complain about all that, how expensive it is and blah blah blah, but then we'll spend no time, no hesitation to spending large quantities of money on their own personal luxury items. Like, the greed is unreal here. The amount of time that these particular individuals spend like waiting in line to shop for accessories, products, clothing, and yet they won't spend any time, or barely any time, monitoring their children's education, going to the open houses, communicating with their teachers. Parent-teacher meetings, yeah, not happening. Like, their priorities are not always straight. In fact, it's very seldom like their priorities are in check. Now, when it comes to the consumerism point that I made earlier, it's like, this is one of the biggest reasons why a lot of Black people in the Black community, like, are not making a lot of money, or they're very impoverished, still impoverished to this day. Like, they're not wealth building. Like, they're spending the most money, but they end up not having a lot of money at the end. A small correction that needs to be made here. I meant to preference that I was talking about, like, just general spending habits. When it comes to, like, their income, although yes, their income tends to be less than white Americans, their income growth has been increasing for the last few decades. And that's just all across the board, all race groups. Their income has been steadily increasing. Like, since I want to say the 70s, definitely the 80s, 90s, and so forth. But I also think the 70s, and if not maybe the 60s, I don't fully remember, but it's been increasing for decades, is the point is trying to make. When it comes to certain intangible assets like home ownerships, businesses, stocks, things of that nature, that has also been a trend of increase among both white and non-white people within the last few decades as well. There's also that to consider. Basically, I'm not trying to say that non-white people have not done any work at all to build any type of wealth, because that's blatantly wrong. Like, the research will show you that there has been wealth building. But I'm just trying to highlight why that non-white people are still disproportionately less likely to be, like, in good financial standing. They're still more likely to be impoverished, and just not as likely as white people to have, like, an exuberant amount of wealth, or, like, savings, or, you know, like, actual economic prosperity. Well, one of the reasons. Because even when you look at, like, savings, like, Black people, like, I'm pretty sure there's, like, a study that showed that the average Black American today, or, like, within the 2020s, their savings is, like, a little over $2,000 throughout their lifetime, or something of that nature. Like, I'll insert it here.
Bank rate. This was published in April 2025. The average amount in U.S. savings accounts. As far as race, those classified as non-Hispanic whites had significantly higher median and mean account balances than those in the Hispanic and Black categories, reflecting a racial wealth gap, as white families hold more than 5 times the wealth of the typical Black or Hispanic family. White folks, their average bank account balance is $12,000. Black folks, $2,110.
And it's just like, it highlights, like, the overconsumption and the need to spend more to appear like you have a higher status strongly contributes to their lack of overall wealth, despite the wealth building that they've generated throughout the decades. Like, how does this happen? Like, this is one of the primary reasons why Black wealth is expected to reach zero by like 2057, I think it's what they said, or 2053, like in the near future. It's because they're not building wealth and not prioritizing, you know, careful spending, investments, and like taking care of their money. They're just spending on luxury expenses that they can't afford. They're living lifestyles that they cannot keep up with. They're living above their means. And like theoretically, like this is like a phenomenon that's been existing since like decades. There's a historical impact here because of how a lot of Black Americans back then were not privy to be able to purchase from these expensive high-end stores that were predominantly owned by white people. And ever since they had the ability and the right to actually, you know, purchase these luxury goods, it's like the keeping up with the Joneses phenomena has been like set in stone, very strong. It's like they're hyper obsessed with materialism and like trying to appear more wealthy and more affluent than they actually are. And that's like still present to this day, unfortunately. This obsession with needing to be seen as like better than someone else because they have more things. Even though they don't really have it, they're either spending more than they have, or they're just being reckless with their finances, or they're renting these high-end products and these services and these like places, these high-end high-rise apartments, or they're renting it or showing a fake lifestyle on the internet and in real life. And that's going to strongly hinder Black wealth in the future. Like, you really need to get your shit together, please. It's like, and these are also the same people that will shame anybody that lives a more frugal lifestyle, or, you know, actually cares about their money and like doesn't spend above their means. Like, are you serious? Like, look at you right now. You're in debt. So much debt. Credit card debt. Klarna debt, if you're adding that as well. But please, tell me how much of a great life you have. If you would like to make a donation, please check out the QR code or the link in the video description for my PayPal account. Thank you very much.